Yes, it's still hot outside, but I wanted to wear my jean jacket today, so sue me. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and today I'm going to be bringing you an unhaul. This is the first ever unhaul that I'm doing on my channel. If you guys don't want to hear me ramble for a minute, you can skip to this point in the video to just see the books that I'm getting rid of. But first I just wanted to talk a little bit about why we're getting rid of these books and where they're going to go and yada yada. Now if you've been watching my channel for a little while, you will know that I do not buy a whole lot of books. Some books do come into my possession if I win a giveaway or I am a Book of the Month YA affiliate, so I get books from there. Sometimes I'll get them as gifts and very occasionally I will buy them for myself. But we are trying to become a little bit more minimalistic in our home, and books are one thing that my husband and I both really enjoy having around. So it has taken us a while to get to the point where we are ready to get rid of some of the books on our shelves. Now I will say we are not going completely minimal. We will definitely still be owning books, but we also were not buying a whole lot of books because, just to be completely frank about it, our financial situation was not in a place where we could afford that luxury. Now we are very grateful to say that we are now in a better place financially and we are able to spend a little bit more money on things that we want. So I may wind up buying more books in the future. I'm still not gonna go crazy. I absolutely love utilizing my public library and the digital e-library. That is not going anywhere. You still probably will not be seeing monthly hauls from me on this channel, but I am planning to do a haul soon that will probably encompass everything that I've received or gotten or bought or whatever since I started this channel back in April or May. That'll probably be coming in the next couple of weeks. But other than that, you're not gonna see a whole lot of hauls from me. Maybe I'll do them seasonally, something like that, but things are gonna stay pretty much the same. Now, there are quite a few books here, and unfortunately I can't do a giveaway right now for any of them or anything like that. Maybe in the future that's something that I plan to do, but right now it's not feasible, so they are either going to be going to our local library or donated to a local charity. And finally, before I get into this, I just want to put the disclaimer that everybody does. If you see your favorite book in this stack that I'm getting rid of, don't be offended. Not every book is for every reader. Some of these I enjoyed and just don't want on my shelves anymore. Some of them I haven't even picked up, but I will kind of explain to you the reasoning behind each of them. But if you see your favorite book, it just wasn't for me, my favorite book might not be for you, and that's fine. So after all that, if you are new here and you're not already, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of my content. And without further ado, let's get started. So the first book that we are going to be unhauling is The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. Now I'm not sure exactly the name for this genre, but it's like a narrative nonfiction style about the Chicago World's Fair, and it talks about the comings of the World's Fair as well as the murderer H.H. Holmes. Now my husband and I were both interested in this novel. He's the one that actually picked it up and he has never touched it. I read the first little section of it and it just wasn't for me. I really enjoyed the parts about H.H. Holmes, but I could care less about the part about the World's Fair, and I don't see myself ever pushing the rest of the way through it or ever going back to it, and if the mood does strike me, it is available at my library. The next two we're getting rid of are Dorothy Must Die and Yellow Brick War from the Dorothy Must Die series. I think this is the first and third book that's in the series. Now my husband was interested in this series, and I was as well, but I bought them for him as a present, and he never got around to reading them. I have started Dorothy Must Die twice and DNF'd it twice. So I'm just thinking, at least right now in my life, this is not the series for me. And again, with almost all of these books, if I do decide that I ever want to pick them up again, I can get them from the library. The next books that we are getting rid of is actually a whole trilogy, and that is the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness. So we have The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, and Monsters of Men. Now I did read The Knife of Never Letting Go back earlier this year. I'm not exactly sure what month, but I will leave the wrap up with my opinions on this book. But The Knife of Never Letting Go was a total miss for me. I thought that it was about 200 to 300 pages too long. I don't feel like a whole lot happened. The writing style really bothered me. My husband started it as well, and that was why he didn't finish it, because he hated the writing style. So I just don't ever see myself continuing this one. The ending of the first one was enough to kind of intrigue me, but not anytime soon. Next, I'm going to be saying goodbye to Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. Again, I read this one earlier this year. I will leave a link to my wrap-up up in the card so that you can hear my full thoughts. But basically, this one was just kind of meh for me. I went into it with really high expectations and was pretty much let down by it. I don't see myself ever revisiting this one. It just wasn't my favorite. I can replace it on my shelf with something better. Next book I've got is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. This is a novel that I read all the way back in college, so it's been at least 4 or 5 years now since I have picked this one up. I've kept it on my shelf because I absolutely loved it. I flew through it, read it in one sitting, and it was laugh out loud funny. And I thought that maybe one day I would return to it. That day has not yet come. I don't see it ever coming, so I'm just gonna get this one off of my shelf. The next one that I'm saying goodbye to is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, and before you come at me, I did enjoy this book. I'm not getting rid of this book because I have any sort of negative opinions about it. I really enjoyed it. The only reason I'm getting rid of this is because this was a secondhand copy that I received. It didn't even come with the dust jacket. I read it, really enjoyed it, but this particular edition can go to a new home and find another reader that will hopefully love it just as much as I did. And if I ever want to pick it up again to have on my shelf, I will buy a brand new edition with a pretty cover. Next, I'm getting rid of The Ghosts of Heaven by Marcus Sedgwick. Again, I read this earlier this year. I will leave the wrap up somewhere in here for you to know my thoughts. I believe I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. Definitely different than anything that I've ever read. But again, this is one that I just don't see myself returning to. It was really good. It was thought-provoking. I'm glad that I read it, and now I'm ready to move on from it. And the last book that I'm going to be getting rid of is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Now, this is a book that, again, I read 4 or 5 years ago, very highly enjoyed it, but I don't ever see myself returning to it. And while I enjoyed it, it didn't make enough of an impact on me that I'm going to want to keep it on my shelves forever, so this one can find a new home as well. So those are all of the books that I am going to be unhauling today. You may have noticed back behind me that my shelves have gotten a little bit of a makeover. I've added a couple pumpkins for fall, but I've also moved some books around. So like I said, in the upcoming weeks, be looking out for a haul video from me that is going to show you all the books that I have received over the past few months. So those books have taken the place of these that I just unhauled. So let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on any of those books that I am unhauling today, if you have read them, your thoughts on them, and let me know one of the last books that you unhauled. If you like what you saw today, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, as well as hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon down below so that you don't miss out on any of my content. So until next time, bye!